Some things just don't get old, I guess, man. What's up, everybody, man? It's your boy, Mr. Dugas, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today I'm gonna land on my shirt. And today I'm gonna talk about the Super Bowl 55. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Kansas City Chiefs 31-9 for Tampa Bay's organization to win their second Super Bowl overall, and for Tom Brady to win his seventh Super Bowl ring, as well as win his fifth Super Bowl MVP, yo. Before I get into this video, man, excuse me. For everyone who want to give me a follow on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I'm gonna have all that information down in the description box. May not always get a chance to respond to questions and comments on these videos, so feel free to DM me whenever I get a chance to. I'll get back at you. Come holler at your boy, yo. Wow, man. Congratulations, man, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Congratulations to Tom Brady. But before I get into Tom Brady, who clearly is the MVP and the GOAT, man, I got to give a huge shout out to somebody who I don't think gonna get enough credit, and that's Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I want to start with him. Just a tremendous game plan, an absolute tremendous game plan. They really, I mean, I didn't think it was possible for anybody to hold the Kansas City Chiefs to 0 touchdowns. I didn't think that I would see a day where that would happen with this regime, with Mahomes, Andy Reid, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, and all those guys. And Tampa did it tonight, especially considering the last time they played them, when they gave up over 200 yards receiving to Tyreek Hill in the first quarter. And tonight, I don't even know if he got 70 yards receiving. And most of his yards came in garbage time when the game was pretty much already decided. Devin White, man, my LSU Tiger, was sensational, not just tonight, but these whole playoffs. He had the game-sealing interception in the end zone. I mean, he was just absolutely sensational. I mean, he got after, he was always around the ball. Like, he constantly was around the football. Devontae David was big time. Shaquille Barrett, I think, had 2 sacks. Jason Pierre-Paul got pressure. The secondary played well. Antoine Winfield, a rookie. Antoine Winfield Jr. had a tremendous game, including, a big play on Tyreek Hill when he gave Tyreek Hill the deuces. And I understood it. Like, I understood him doing that. Like, when you get the guy does this to you a day and you absolutely shut him down, I get it, yo. Just what a performance by them. Sensational defensive performance by Todd Bowles and that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. And offensively, man, they were solid. Like, Tom Brady was efficient with the football, took care of the football, got sacked just one time. The offensive line was great. Leonard Fournette, another LSU Tiger, was spectacular, running the football, caught a few passes. Excuse me. Gronk turned back the hands of time, caught 2 touchdown passes. Antonio Brown caught a touchdown coming off of an injury. Mike Evans and Godwin didn't really do much today. They didn't really need them like that. But just what a great team win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Early on, I'm not going to lie, in the first half, I felt like the officiating was one-sided. I felt like, it was a lot of they called some tic-tac, holding and grabbing and interference calls on the Chiefs in the first half that allowed Tampa Bay to get a couple of more points than they probably should have had. But in the second half, they dominated. The refs were not a deciding factor in this game at all, especially in the second half. They completely dominated. Like, I'm very impressed with what they did, not only tonight, but in this whole Super Bowl run. Tom Brady also, I just feels like, not only is he the GOAT, arguably the greatest athlete of all time, instead of just football player, as he now has 7 championship rings. But I feel like his presence and his leadership and his championship mentality, came over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, he installed that in them, and they went out there and they did their thing, and they played like champions. They played focused, and they just played like champions. They were just so physical. They were the much more physical football team in this game, and it pretty much showed. They dominated up front. I mean, they dominated up front on both sides of the ball. And they just did what it takes to win the game, yo. You got to give them a whole lot of credit for that, yo. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, I feel like this was a just very disappointing performance. Like when you consider the fact that you coming into this game off of a very impressive showing against the Buffalo Bills, and you go out there and get smacked around like that against a team that you beat earlier this season, I feel like that's very disappointing. And I know a lot of people, including a lot of my fellow Eagle fans, you know, who don't like Andy Reid are going to rejoice in this performance because I feel like Andy Reid, you know, got severely outcoached in this game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was somebody who I thought was doing good with the football in his hands, and they didn't get the ball in his hands enough. You know, they kept trying to force it downfield. When Tampa Bay was basically daring them to not throw it downfield, and they constantly kept trying to get big plays downfield. And, you know, they got pressure on Mahomes, yo. They got pressure on him all night. I mean, that offensive line got completely whipped. Like, they got completely whipped like a rag doll all night long, yo. And defensively, like, they wasn't physical enough. You know, I thought, like I said, in the first half, I felt like they got on the bad end of some bad calls in the first half defensively. But the rest of the game, they just got absolutely dominated. They got pushed around up front. They couldn't cover in the back end. It was just bad. It was just bad all along and all around. Yeah, man. I mean, what a performance by Tampa Bay. Absolutely did their thing, man. Tom Brady Super Bowl MVP. I mean, it's you can't say enough about that guy. And I mean, tonight he wasn't, you know, he ain't throw for no 500 yards or nothing like that. But he had his three touchdowns, and he was extremely efficient with the football. What a performance, man. This team they looked like that team just came together in this postseason, and they just absolutely did their thing, man. Gronk with 2 touchdowns, 67 yards receiving. Antonio Brown, 22 yards receiving, but a touchdown. Fournette had over 100 total yards from scrimmage, running and receiving, you know, and a touchdown. Total team effort. And big shout out to Bruce Arians, yo. For one thing, you know, I am an African American male. And you know, especially in the head coaching search, you know, a lot of African American coaches, you know, have gotten the short end of the stick, you know, as far as getting jobs and stuff of that nature. And Bruce Arians has a lot of, you know, minorities on his coaching staff, yo. And just shout out to him for that. And shout out to him for letting everybody know, hey, you can have minority coaches and you could get the job done, man. So I'm really appreciative of him for that. You know, he just seemed like a guy that people root for, yo. When he was the head coach with Indianapolis, took over for Chuck Pagano when he got sick. Arizona took them to an NFC Championship game. Comes to Tampa, gets Tom Brady, gets on him a little bit, but at the same time respected him, respected his team, respected his players, and look what they get today. They get a Lombardi Trophy, yo. So I feel like, you know, Bruce Arians, I'm really happy for him. His first Super Bowl win as a head coach. The oldest coach, I believe, to win a Super Bowl as a head coach. Just shout out to Bruce Arians, man, and his coaching staff and those players, man. Just a very good performance. Yo. I mean, they dominated. Like, man, I was a little bummed out because I was thinking this would be one of those go down to the wire type of Super Bowls. But probably with the exception of probably the Seattle-Denver game years ago and probably the Atlanta-Denver game. Like, this Super Bowl was just really out of hand and was never really fun to really watch like that. And that's because Tampa Bay just absolutely dominated them, yo. Shout out to them for that. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all tonight. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe, man. I'm going to have Philadelphia Eagles and NFL content throughout the year. Also, this coming Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, I'm going to do a live Q&A. Y'all come on there, ask me anything, tell me anything. I'll answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live, yo. Y'all should join me. It'll be some good stuff. Until then, yo, y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.